だからわかんねって言ったろ。てか、なんで？
また親父の転勤。家は前と違うけど、3学期だけこの学校。
だからわかんねって言ったろ。
マジ
か。てか、なんで？
また親父の転勤。
家は前と違うけど、3
学期だけこの学校。
わかんね
かもね。
てか、なんで？引っ越して3年だっけ？
また親父の転勤。4年。
家は前と違う。4年か。
3学期。4年。かもね。
ピッチャー頼むわ。引っ越して3年だっけ？あれはよくやったろ。
4年。前じゃん。
遠慮すんなって。ピッチャー頼むわ。引っ越して3年だっけ？あれはよくやったろ。
前じゃん。
遠慮すんなって。ピッチャー頼むわ。引っ越して3年だっけ？あれはよくやったろ。
前じゃん。
遠慮すんなって。
Good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Hello. How's everybody doing? So fix that a little bit. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you are doing swell. Your boy Akasan. Let's turn that down a bit. Your boy Akasan in the house here. How's it going, everyone? Man. Oof, I have been better. I am alive though, so I appreciate that. I am grateful for the gifts installed upon me that I am still breathing. It's not that bad, but I guess apparently I came down with a case of bronchitis. That's a first for me. Bronchitis, ladies and gentlemen. So I've been wheezing and having like the craziest problems all week this week. Itchy throat, coughing, wheezing. Almost threw up a few times because my air passageway was a little fucked up. They thought, obviously Corona was the first thing that came to mind, but it was like, nah, because I even had a fever a few times yesterday. So it was, I shouldn't have had that, but maybe it was my fault. I don't know. I don't know what happened, because I was fine 2 days ago, but then the next day my voice went out and everything. So that's why we had to postpone said stream. Man, it was wild. It was a wild event, man. Still in recovery mode, to be honest. But I wanted to get something out the gate here, something out the door. See how much my eyes are watery? Maybe I should wear my sunglasses for the rest of the stream. We'll see. Yeah, but it's wild, man. It is wild. So what it seems like it's clearing up though. It's not really so bad. It's just that after a few hours or so, depending upon what I'm doing, like at least last night I could sleep. I slept really well. But today we indeed have a lot to cover. Thank you for joining me on Twitch. Thank you for joining me on YouTube. Hope everybody's doing well out there. And I'm gonna try to cap this at about 2 hours, maybe a little less. I don't know if we can cover everybody's phone calls when it's time to talk about the phone calls, but I'll do my best to get as many calls as I can this time around. We are getting ready for, and then one of the other reasons I'm trying to cut everything short today is I'm preparing for Halloween, which I think some of my packages arrived today. You can see the beginnings of my baby Robin Yoda. I need a better name. Grobin? I don't know. Grow Robin, I guess. Because I'm going to be Bat Mandalorian, and DC Son's going to be Super Mandalorian. His is the best sounding one. So this is the beginnings of a baby dick. Oh my God. That's terrible. That's terrible. See, there I go. There I go. Baby dick. I like that though. That's good though. That's good. Anyways, so that's the beginning of that. Got one of my weapons that came in a few weeks ago. Actually, DC Son gave it to me. we got a lot to prepare for Halloween. So I was actually going to do yesterday. I was thinking about doing a Halloween sewing stream where you can see me attach some L wire, but it didn't arrive on time. Actually, the wrong thing came. But I think this is the nope. This is something completely different. Who the fuck is texting me? Let's see what kind of. I got like 3 packages that arrived. So we're also gonna talk about. Okay, anyway, so Halloween, and then we're also preparing for. I know what this is. This is for DC fandom. Your boy Akasan, we're going big, guys, for DC fandom. I'm upgrading my entire fucking gear so we can live stream mobile. I was thinking about it yesterday, and so I ended up ordering. This is an attachment for my laptop. So you know how some electronics should smell good? This one does not. So this one will be able to do a landline from my laptop directly, no Wi-Fi. And because I wasn't even sure if my laptop even supported this particular situation. So you know, we'll see. Then so we got that. Then for DC fandom and some other shit. DC fandom and the Halloween stream. I believe this is what the next thing is. I wish I didn't see it yesterday, but I knew the moment I saw it, I had to buy it. It's like $200 something. Don't tell my girlfriend. A Zoom pod track. So basically, this is going to outdo. This is the case for it. This is going to outdo all the audio setup that I had previously. When I would record mobile, I had to take this pocket recorder. And actually, before Corona, I used to record the audio on a separate track. You know, I used to have boom mics. I basically did everything very traditionally, just like you're filming a movie or a TV show. And then I would have to take everything to get edited later. You know what I'm saying? So this is basically going to be able to put the audio, like really professional podcast sounding audio or whatever, into the live stream, and then I can record it just as we're doing right now. So this will be all mobile. So this will really help. And on top of that, yeah, it is expensive. On top of that, it has 4 separate audio tracks, because this was the biggest problem that I've always had with me and DC Son, is that he speaks really softly, right? But I speak really loudly. And so basically I always had to back my mic away and then put his mic closer to him like that, right? But now we can basically just adjust accordingly. So I think that'll be really good. I'm not sure about the whole if somebody starts peaking the levels, I don't know how that's going to work. But anyways, I'm glad it arrived. We'll probably test this out later today. The plan is just to be a separate stream. We'll do like a Halloween stream, and then I'm missing something. No, I'm not. I need to go to the dollar store today and look for some sewing stuff, because I ordered some invisible wire, and I'm gonna sew the L light. Oh, that's what I'm missing. The actual L wire hasn't arrived yet. I want to sew the L wire into my clothing to to light up the bat suit, basically. And then next week, I think we're gonna go pick up. Never mind. I'm always wondering when I see somebody walk by. Always wonder if the deliveries are coming. But anyways, and then next week I'm gonna go pick up the bat suit, the chest piece that lights up and everything. So I ordered the L-Rot wire, but I guess I was just really delusional a few days ago. And because when I installed it and everything, it was pink. I'm like, why is it pink? And I checked, and it looks like I ordered the pink one instead of the red one. So, oh well. But yeah. So, you know, it is what it is. That's a little too strong. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me go ahead and give my opinions on oh wait, there's one more package that arrived. I got a box of cookies. It was really weird, from Okinawa, and they said it was from the police. And I was like, what? But the label says it's headphones, so I think it's the headphones that I lost. Excuse me. That I lost when I was in Okinawa on the airline, but they just put it in a box of cookies. Yeah. Jajan, hooray. I received my headphones. I was so mad about that. These are like $500 headphones. I only really use for traveling. Let me make sure it's the correct headphones though. I know there's no cookies in there as well, right? Oh my god, what if I did get invited to the Squid Game? There you go. Looks like it's all safe. No damage. Looks like there's a little bit of mold or something in the... No. Okay, never mind. Guess that was just dust. Cool! I got my headphones back. I don't use these headphones so often. Only for traveling and like noise canceling or whatever, but yeah, I'm glad that they're back where they belong. So that's good. Yeah, maybe later today, maybe today or tomorrow, we'll do a test stream for DC fandom. We'll see what's up. Yeah. Did I ever get them glasses that you lost before? Nah, I didn't. No. Yeah. Yeah, the police actually worked this time. Yeah. All right. I'm thinking about getting the same Batman. Yeah, this chair is really comfortable. I know that there's a Superman one that just came out today. So, or a little while ago. So, looking forward to that as well. But it's weird because somebody just messaged me yesterday. They're like, "Hey, Augustine, you should really get this Batman chair." I'm like, "Do you not see what I've been sitting in like for the last year now?" Like, it's weird. I'm like, it's been here the whole time, but I guess technically my body is in the way, right? All right, let's get into the topics of today, and see what's up. See what's up. I have not watched the Injustice movie. It's not out yet. I think it comes out on digital next week, I think. I mean, it might have leaked, I guess, but I'm not thinking about that right now. I don't support that. There we go. All right. All right. So, first and foremost, let's talk about what if really quick. What if? So, what more can I say about what if? I think today's topic, what if, is probably going to be the least interesting, I think. That because it was just simple. It was good. It was interesting. I liked it. It was one of my favorite season finales of the Disney Plus situation. I put it right behind WandaVision. Wasn't really big on Falcon and Winter. Excuse me. Wasn't really big on Falcon and the Winter Soldier's ending. It was all right. And I definitely did not like the Loki season finale in terms of a TV show. What it was doing in terms of world building, yeah, it was interesting. But in terms of an actual complete, like a feeling of a completed season, nah, not a big fan of it. So I liked the What If season finale. I like everything that it did, and it was really cool. It's actually going to be kind of interesting to see things on a very minor scale again. That's going to be the real challenge. After that What If battle, it's good that it was in animated form, because I cannot imagine watching that live and then going back to something simple. You know what I mean? So, yes, absolutely. It was very much a true Age of Ultron type of storytelling. It totally reminded me, like, I think there was an Avengers comic book game, the Avengers game, where Ultron grew to giant proportions and you had to fight a giant Ultron. Or it was Venom, I don't remember. But I'm totally down. Like, I miss it. I already miss meeting up with DC Sun and watching them. That was a fun time, man. That was a fun time. So who knows when the next time DC Sun will come by, because I was actually quite surprised that he even was coming by for this particular property. I was like, wow, okay. He's definitely not coming over for Titans. And probably, if I can, it'd be nice to watch Injustice, but it's going to be kind of busy this week, this month with Halloween and things like that. But yeah. All right. Next. Let's talk about Bond. No Time to Die. I know it's not really damn. I know it's not really covered so much in my sort of channel, but I am a Bond fan. And I'm so glad. Like, I started realizing a good amount of people who watch that No Time to Die have never seen the other Bond movies, if you can believe that. Believe it or not, they've never seen the other Bond movies, which is crazy. But I am so glad that I rewatched those movie minute caption videos, because we're talking about a how long has it been? Like a 15 to 20 year career of the Daniel Craig stories, and there was a lot. Like, it all was connected in some sense. It was all sort of connected, and I mean, you could go in there without the idea of understanding who certain things are, but I mean, it opens up. Yeah, 15 years of Craig. It opens up going back to essentially the first movie. And it's kind of that kind of stuff was important in terms of storytelling. So yeah. So and just like Kyle is saying, like Spectre was supposed to be the last movie. It felt like it. Spectre was weak as fuck. That's why. Spectre was weak as hell. I fell asleep on that movie. It was so long, and like, I thought No Time to Die actually did really well. Like, I put No Time to Die second, right behind Skyfall. Originally, I thought No Time to Die was the best Bond movie I've ever seen, But then when I started thinking about some of the plot points and the way it ended, and like certain things seemed kind of very simple writing. I won't say it's the Flash style writing, but it was kind of like, wait a second, really? Wait, but you know, he could have what like that. I was like, okay, never mind. So I dropped it down behind Skyfall, because I honestly don't remember Casino Royale at all, and I remember Quantum Solace only because Olga is by far the hottest Bond girl I've ever seen. But you know, believe it or not, the girl from Quantum of Solace, that's the same chick that's in Black Widow as Taskmaster. And I was like, it just never even occurred to me, but her face has really changed over the years. She's gotten a little, like, she might have been like starving herself when she was a Bond girl or something like that. But she looks like she's gained about 10 to 15 kilograms, which is not a bad thing. But I've seen her in, because I was looking up what happened to her, what other movies has she been in, right? And then they listed Black Widow. I'm like, wait, what? And I was like, that's her. So yeah, she definitely looks really different. Yeah. And so I agree, like Safin, his plan was dumb. Like that, I think that's why I dropped it down, because Skyfall was a little more straightforward. It was just a revenge plot. So I think that's probably why a lot of people gravitate towards Skyfall. But Siphon was No Time to Die was just like, wait, what? What is your story now? Like at the last minute they threw in some sort of world threat type of deal, and it was kind of just like, yeah, okay, whatever. So that's why after a while I kind of dropped it down a little bit, but it's still, I think it was still really good, and I think it really humanized Bond in a way that I think was a very proper way. I can totally see honest trailers. So now we're getting into spoiler territory, because if you haven't seen this movie by now, No Time to Die, I'm just saying, spoiler warning, because it's all spoilers here today. So the fact that Bond has a kid, and didn't get married or whatever, and then ends up dying, I was like, damn, okay, that's an interesting way to go with the Bond route, because it's kind of like, I liked it because they were finally doing something different with Bond. Bond's gotten married, but then his chicks usually die anyways, but I've never seen him actually have a kid before. I mean, granted, he wasn't, they still were able to keep intact like the Bond image by not being a father, but still being a father, but just not being around. And then he ends up dying, so he doesn't have to be a father. So it was kind of interesting the way they kind of kept that intact, that image intact. But yeah, I really did like that little situation, because early on, they give it away. They really give it away. But only if you have been in, I think only if you've been in that situation before, you knew the way Miss White grabs herself at the train station in the beginning. I was like, yo, is that bitch pregnant? I was like, wait a second. She reacted in a very particular way. I was like, yo, is she pregnant? And then in the opening title sequence, you can see like a virus or whatever going into a woman's stomach, and you're like, wait a second. But I think they did a really good job of holding back on that implication that about the pregnancy situation, because when they meet up again at her old house, first and foremost, I'm like, yo, why do you still have a house? Why is this house still around where your mom was gunned down on the sofa? Like, why are you still keeping this house around? Which was my first indication. Then they kind of make up, and then it's like, boom, There's a child right there. And you're like, oh, Jerry, or Maury, right? You are not the father. Yeah. Oh, Bond definitely has kids. Just not publicly. Anyways. And then, you know, so for plot convenience wise, I will say that's why I'm a little surprised. I was like, really? That's how they took this guy out? Like, is this the way this dude is gonna die? You know, I'm like, wait, if you got nanobites to create a virus, you can't tell me you can develop nanobites to reverse it. Like, I'm like, come on, dude. All you gotta do is get out. All you gotta do is get out, be a bubble boy for a while, and or basically, yeah. Be like Rogue, just live in a bubble for a little while. Q, somebody will find out a way. Or do you change Mrs. White's DNA or something like that? Whatever, right? So that it was a little convenient that they were like, okay, oh shit, I gotta kill myself now. But whatever. And then on top of that, are you really taking the word of a villain? Are you really gonna be like, oh shit, this villain told me that I got the virus that's only exclusive to Miss White? It may be true, but I'm like, wait, you gonna kill yourself based on that? The only person that told you this information is this dude, right? You didn't have any test or anything, right? But you'll be like, ah, shit, well, brrr, you're dead, and I'm gonna kill myself now too. I'm like, all right, whatever. You know? Bond was shot like 5 times, so in my head, canon that he was bleeding out anyways. Yeah. I thought that as well. I thought that as well. So, I highly recommend. Oh, and the last things that I'll say is that I thought the sound mixing was amazing. Using video game type sounds when the gunplay in this movie was amazing. Granted, at times I thought I was watching a fucking Call of Duty movie or Black Ops or some shit. So that was a little but I will say that the new 007 was useless as hell, man. Yo, she was useless as fuck. I know people don't want to admit it, but she was useless. Like, I really thought she was gonna have one moment that was gonna show how badass she was or whatever. She was basically hired help. She was an assistant to Bond half the time. She showed up late one time. She straight up showed up late. She was on that CPT, color people time. I was like, wow, this is weak, dude. So, it was really weak. Like, yeah, they should have given her more action scenes. They like she literally was just help. Her last big moment was basically transporting Bond's family to a remote area and being a babysitter. I'm just saying. Like, and then the one cool action scene she had was when they forced that German scientist to be a racist. And suddenly he started spewing off all this racist shit about I can erase your people like that. West Africans, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you know what time it is? It's time to die. What? I don't know who thought that was going to be a dope scene or something. Like, yeah, I kicked that racist into the poison. I was like, boo. Whatever. Yeah. But anyways, that's it. That's it for No Time to Die. Highly recommend it. It's beautiful. Tomorrow, I think today is the last day you can catch a catch Bond in IMAX in Japan. As tomorrow we have Dune. Dune's coming out tomorrow. Looking forward to that. But I'm not gonna watch it tomorrow. In all likelihood, we're gonna wait till next week. Actually, now that I think about it, isn't Dune gonna be same day and date release? Fuck it. I think I might just watch it at home. Not gonna lie. I'm still a little bit bitter about that copy and paste fucking comment. Alright, I guess I'm about to copy and paste a torrent. So I don't know. We'll see. And then tomorrow, you know, the main thing, we thought about watching it, but it's like, whatever. I'll show you what to love. Oh. Sorry, I'm also eating my breakfast, guys. Sorry. The more I actually eat, I can feel it like scraping the mucus down. So I'm hoping it just will scrape all the mucus out of my lungs, and so all right. I have no idea when Ghostbusters is coming out. I don't give two fucks about that movie. I'm just saving up money so if I need to leave the country to go see Not No Time to Die. What is this? Some Biohazard movie. So I can show you. Ghostbusters Afterlife. What's this? What's this?
People are getting sick.
Oh, fuck.
Let the world know what's really going on.
Wait, is there a Resident Evil movie coming out? A new one? Oh, shit. Huh. Alright. Oh, wow. Resident Evil remake. That's kind of cool. Oh, here it is. It comes out in Japan. Huh? It doesn't say. Why? I guess they only have the promo thing? Yeah, 30 years ago. Yeah, okay. So I guess there's no release date. Okay. So I guess we don't have a release date yet. Just like we don't have a release date for No Way Home, I think. Yeah, I don't think there's a release date for No Way Home yet. The only confirmed release date we have is Venom, which is December 3rd. So fucking dumb. So dumb. So dumb, so dumb, so dumb, so. Oh, wow. Oh, I should have spit that one out. That was a big one. Wow. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Ghostbusters looks whack. Like, looks pretty bad, man. It's not even like, I don't know. It's like whatever. It just doesn't look that. I think, if anything, I'm more annoyed that Sony was claiming the videos. I was like, okay, whatever, man. I'm just gonna ignore it. Like, it didn't look. It looked like a weak version of Stranger Things. All right, let's get into the final. Let's get into the final topic of today. The final topic of today, for me just to talk about. We've kind of discussed it in general, but since that video I made on YouTube, I've actually had a chance to sit down and actually read the comic book that it's being referred to, so I know what I'm talking about, and that's Superman, Son of Kal-El, the story of, well, in next sometime next week, or no, I'm sorry, the week after that, the first issue or the next issue of Superman, Son of Kal-El that comes out. But then in November, there'll be another issue that comes out that confirms that John Kent, son of Kal-El, Superman, but also goes by the moniker of Superman. There's two Supermen now. Is going to be confirmed to be bisexual, and he apparently has feelings for a internet reporter, hacker, Jay Nakamura. And so, as I said, I read the last three issues. Yeah, I think I read the only 3 issues that are out right now. And I like it. Tom Taylor's writing is really good. It's always going to be like, Tom Taylor is beast, man. Like, his work is really well. Like, you saw it in Injustice, you saw it in all of his other stuff. It's really good stuff. I will say I was a little confused why John Kent is so old now, but I've already been caught up by the internet. Let me know that when Bendis took over writing credibility, he did this weird storyline where Jor-El, Superman's father, Kryptonian father, came back to life and they went time traveling or some shit like that, and it basically aged him up, and so his entire childhood was kind of lost after that. So oh well, but whatever. So we have him as like an adult now. So anyways, so is it the same Jonathan Kent character in Superman and Lois? A little different. Excuse me. And then on top of that, which DC will bring up every once in a while with these crossovers that I was reading, is that Jonathan Kent isn't even really of this world, of this canon world. He's been canonically written in to this universe, but he existed outside of a different universe at the beginning, but then was basically written in. But everybody's just kind of saying, like, at this point, yeah, he's basically canon. So it's a little confusing because he had a whole different family and all that, but it all got kind of merged together. And comics, whatever, sloppy writing, I think, but whatever. Comics, in short, the biggest issue is that he'll be coming out as bisexual, which I don't really see a problem here. John Kent is as new of a character as you can get, because let's put it this way, because here's the biggest argument that you see is people keep on making the argument that why don't you write new characters, use original characters, blah blah blah. Yo, John Kent's as original as it gets. Like, that's exactly what DC has been doing. Luke Fox, There's I don't even know the other black guy that's playing Batman right now. Jace, I want to say. Yeah. Like they've been spending the last couple of years developing these characters and then people get mad because they're essentially taking over the legacy characters. And that was one of the whole controversies about the 5G plan that a lot of writers quit over was like a lot of the legacy characters were going to get taken away and replaced with newer ones. But they're doing exactly what people requested. It's just that people don't like it. They still don't like it, because I guarantee you, if they just went ahead and introduced something very similar to what Marvel did, creating like a rainbow Captain America or whatever, people are going to be like, oh, you're forcing it. You're making it. This isn't natural. John Kent's progress into his sexuality is as natural as it gets for a comic book, for somebody to went in time and a year in space with his dead grandfather and aged him up. But yeah, it's as natural as he gets because he's learning how to be Superman right now. This is as year one as you can get for a Superman storyline. And I'm fine with that. What you wanted him to fucking explore his sexuality. You wanted to make it clear. You wanted him to make it 100% clear that he was like heterosexual when he was hanging out with Damien when he was like 7. Come on, man. Yeah. So it's all good. It's all good in the hood for this one, man. I don't have a problem with it. What I think a lot of the outrage that you're seeing on Twitter is the fact that people who are complaining about it have never read the comic, have never read a comic, and they're just seeing the headline saying that Superman is bisexual. They're thinking the OG one. But it makes it clear, if you actually read the article, that it's his son. And then, it's just a big underlining of like homophobic tones when you start seeing this situation, when you see people complain about it. Like, for me personally, I don't have a problem with this. I think it's actually a cool idea. It'd be even more interesting. Like, this is one of the reasons I kind of wanted to get the Knight on here, because he is a bisexual YouTuber. I wanted to ask him a little bit about this because for me, I kind of feel like making John Kent bisexual is a bit of a cop-out. I'm like, just legit make him straight out gay. 100% wieners only. I'm like, go all the way. I feel like coming out as bisexual essentially just means that they can go back later if it doesn't sell well or whatever. If it doesn't do well, then they can give him a female counterpart down the line, and they're like, oh well, he's bisexual, so he can play both sides like that, right? I'm like, just straight up make him gay. That'd be dope. I guess. But I don't know. It's hard to say because I feel like they pulled the bisexual angle a few times already, just so they can have more inclusion. But I'm like, and I'm trying to figure out, is Aquaman? I'm talking about our Aqua Lad, but now Aquaman. What was his name? Condor or some shit like that, right? Is he gay or bisexual? Because some of the images I've been seeing recently, he looks pretty gay, like really, really gay. Like, I don't know. But I know the one problem that I had was actually Tim Drake. I felt that making Tim Drake bisexual was a little too much. Only because we have so much history with Tim Drake already. You know, we've had so much history with him, like him and Raven, I think at one point. Definitely him and Spoiler, Stephanie Brown. I think he even hooked up with Tara from the Titans as well. A few things, and I'm just like, you know, we've already seen him published in cartoons and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, Actually, now that I think about it, I don't remember which. I think Tim Drake, I think Robin in the Titans, Teen Titans, is actually Dick Grayson. I could be wrong though. It's Dick Grayson with Tim Drake's costume. Like they took influences from Tim Drake's costume. So it gets kind of hard because they've been modernizing Dick Grayson's Robin outfit as well. So with more of Tim Drake's look, and then Tim Drake went off and became Red Robin for a while and all this other shit. So it's like whatever. Oh, okay, so it's Tim in the Teen Titans cartoon. Okay. So yeah, he was with Cassie. So that's the one though. That's the problem I have with Tim Drake. I had a bit of a problem with that one only because we've had over 20 years of history with him that it was a little weird. The one thing I'm a little confused with sometimes is with the Alan the Green Lantern guy. The OG Green Lantern guy from Earth 2. In this one comic I was reading last night, he came out as gay. And I was like, again? Alan Scott, thank you. I'm like, yo, how many times has this dude come out over like the last 10 years? I was so confused. I was like they did a whole panel on this where he was like, man, it never gets easier, blah blah blah, and like his son, somehow he has one gay son who's a Green Lantern, or some form of a lantern, and then he has a daughter who's a cosmic lantern, or looks like She-Hulk or some shit. I don't know. I don't keep up on all the DC comics because it's too much. I really like the grounded stuff. I generally only read like the Batman comics, like some Superman stuff, because when DC goes big, yo, they go big. Like you're just like, what is going on in these stories? And I just start skipping a lot of it because I'm like, for me it almost has like no context anymore, because they keep doing these huge cosmic stories just to like go back and change something. So this is from a story called you know what, I honestly don't even know what I was reading yesterday. This story, this dude's up here crying, talking about how he's been married a few times, and he's like, I'm gay. I'm like, we know, dude, we know. I'm like, is there, like, I don't get it. Whatever. It's such a like, so like, I think even at one point Wildcat has been gay. I think Wildcat was gay. I don't know. You know what they need? They just need a whole multiverse. They need a whole universe where straight is the new gay, and so the majority of people are gay, and so they clone people. They have to clone people or whatever. Or artificial reproduction or whatever like that. I bet you that's coming sooner than later. That would be so interesting, but so that would be forced, right? Yeah. But yeah, all right. That's it. That's my my thoughts on this situation. I'm cool with it. I don't have a problem with it as long as they don't make it all about like. And so far, they really haven't. I don't know what people are talking about. I was reading something that Dean Cain was saying. I'm like, he was like complaining about how it's not brave and bold. And like, how about you have him going to other countries and fixing the problem, the symptoms? I'm like, you know, for somebody complaining about like they're not addressing it, you sure seem to be paraphrasing exactly what the fuck they're talking about in the comics. They literally talk about how John Kent is tired of taking care of the symptoms and he wants to go straight to the source and fix this shit. But you can see exactly what the problem is if Superman runs in there and tries to fix the problem himself. And, you know, John Kent literally asked his dad, why don't you do more? And he's like, and his dad is like, because it's not my world. And people are going to feel like I'm imposing too much. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Dean Kane, man. I don't know what happened to this dude. I really don't know what happened to this dude, but whatever, man. Whatever. Now if they make John Kent bisexual in the Lois and Superman and Lois storyline, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But they're gonna have to be very careful with that in terms of like making sure it's handled properly. Like there were times where I was like, man, is this guy gay? Like, could he be gay or whatever, right? And I believe that they could even write it in as soon as season 2, as long as it's not that, like, it would have to be, my guess is that it would have to be a thing of him finding somebody that moved to Metropolis early on. I'm not Metropolis, moved to Smallville, and he starts having these feelings that he doesn't understand why he has, you know what I'm saying? Uh and then, you know, he has to confront the issue himself about why he feels attraction to another man like he's never felt like that before. Like something like that. It can't just be like excuse me. It can't be like some shit like suddenly like he goes to a kegger and he's got a dig in his mouth and he's like, "Oh shit, I think I'm gay." Like, I don't want to see any sort of like drunken sort of accidental gayness. Like, it would have to be something that's gradually developed, where you're like, he never had those feelings before, but he meets this one dude that basically made him realize that he's, I don't know how bisexuality works. That's the thing. That's the biggest thing. I really don't know how being bisexual works or being gay works. In terms of like, is it usually just you meet one person that changes? The most developed, the most long story on TV that I know was Ellen coming out, and then the chick from Supergirl, Alex. Alex gradually was coming out on Supergirl, and I thought that story was done fairly well, right? Because they were like, they really had it going out for a long time. And then what I thought was really dope was when Alex finally came out and admitted that she's gay. The woman that kind of forced her, considered her to be honest with herself and to come out, didn't like her back. And she was like, "Oh, no. I was just trying." And like Alex was like super heartbroken because she was like, you know, and I remember tearing up watching that episode. Like I was like, damn, that is heartbreaking. You came out as gay and the person that you came out as gay for doesn't even like you. Then they kind of fucked it up by making them a couple later, and it kind of dragged the show down. But you know, yeah, that was a good story. And then Sarah from Legends of Tomorrow, as far as I remember, just straight out was always like, you know, she was already a developed gay person. So yeah, it's very interesting. So yeah. Alex, they did Alex really well when she came out and everything. So April 47 12, why don't they just leave things as they are, especially with the original characters? Well, Alex, that's exactly what they're doing. These are actually very, very newly developed characters within the last 5 to 6 years. That's exactly what people were asking for. Create new characters, right? And that's exactly what they did. John Kent's only been around for 6 years, and he's only been an adult for like less than a year now. So he's going through changes, he's exploring his sexuality, and this is like the first time he's actually been in some form of a relationship that we've seen in the comics. So they're doing exactly what you guys are saying. It's just that they're using the monikers of legendary statuses like Superman, the Superman name, but at the end of the day, he is Superman, just like Alan Scott is a Green Lantern. He is a Green Lantern. He just happens to be gay. So it's all there. It just may not be the change that you want to see, because at the end of the day, I almost guarantee those that are complaining about leaving things the way they are haven't picked up a comic book in maybe ever. And that's the thing. DC knows exactly what they're doing, making a Superman bisexual because they want to sell comics. Yeah, no shit. They're trying to sell comics. That's exactly the point. The same reason why the Marvel thought it would be a good idea to break up Spider-Man and Mary Jane one more day, and they still never recovered from that. So yeah, Green Lantern is gay. A Green Lantern is gay. Maybe not the one you're thinking about. And in fact, I think there's actually 3 gay Green Lanterns. There's a what was the one woman? Isn't she a lesbian? I know there's a Pakistan Green Lantern. And then there's a Green Lantern like from Pakistan, or a Muslim Green Lantern. Then there's one gay Green Lantern. Like I'm talking about the actual main universe canon storyline. Yeah, there you go. Jessica Cruz. There you go. Guy Gardner, I don't think is gay. He just looks gay half the time. But they might have. I think they might have rewritten him as a gay person at one point. But yeah, I think Jessica Cruz is actually gay. Yeah. I don't know. But all right, let's go ahead and get into some calls here. Let's wrap this up. Or let's go ahead and get to the fun stuff here. This is where the fun begins. Come on in. Oh, Simon. There you go. Yeah. Simon's the gay Green Lantern, I think. Believe it or not, that shit made international news. Even some of my students in Japan were talking about the whole Superman bisexual thing. It's wild, man. All right, let's take some calls here. Let's go first here with Ronan.
Yo,
what's up, man?
How you been?
I'm good. Survived.
Good to hear.
Yeah. What are we knocking out first?
Let's do the what if finale. I dug it. It was fun. I think the best part of it for me was Peggy's and Natasha's friendship. I thought that was fun, and just how each year Doctor Strange, from what people who have just gotten to know him, is getting more cooler and cooler as he gets.
I
A lot
agree.
of people
He's
slept on the
definitely
film,
matured more. Yeah.
right? And then once Infinity War came out, people were like, "Oh, that guy's really really cool,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
witty."
Yeah.
Yeah, I dug the finale. I think, and I think that the penultimate episode, as an overall story, from beginning to end, was stronger for me, just because we didn't see Gamora's side of it because they had to move the episode from development because I guess of because when the pandemic hit, so they had to take that part out. Which I'm like, so where did she come? What was her journey to where she ended up now?
Right. Right. Right.
And I was shocked. And again, yes, may he rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. But I was shocked that him and Eric Killmonger didn't have a more conversation instead of just him trying to like calm him down. I was just like, "What happened to you, cousin?" Like, and then
Right.
I was waiting for that, and then we didn't really get it. So I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Probably just pressed for time.
right."
Probably.
So yeah, I dug it, and it was very creative, and I appreciate that after years of the films. And I'm like, all right, let's twist things up and down.
Yeah. Something different.
Yeah, No Time to Die. I dug it. Funny enough, it was weird because like I said, we both caught the gesture from Madeline. I was sitting up close to the screen, and it just, I don't know. I was like, wait, why did she touch her tummy? What? Oh, they're gonna
Right.
do this. They're gonna do
It was like a
this.
halfway point. She was like, I'm like, wait.
And they cut away from it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, wait a second.
It was
Wait a
fun.
second.
Yeah, I think to me, they might have shown too much in the trailers because to me the best parts were in Cuba with Ana de Armas. The first car chasing where he's all rugged after visiting Vesper's
Right.
grave,
Right.
and the forest action piece where you're trying to hunt him down and he kills the guy and he tells him, my favorite line of the movie was like, I had a brother, his name was Felix Leiter, and he just shoves the car on the guy, and I'm like, beautiful way
Well,
to do
to
it.
be fair, this movie's been delayed for like 2 years. So they and every time they thought that things were going to be coming back, they had to tease a little bit more.
Right.
And then it was kind of like, all right. Like the only thing they really didn't show much of was Siphon's hideout. Like there wasn't a lot going on there. So, they saved all that for the third act. Yeah.
And I agree that, like, for me, Casino Royale and Skyfall are more straightforward and simplistic, which is why I think the scientific element of No Time to Die confused me, because I'm like, all right, he got smoked in Cuba, so that didn't affect him. But then there's all these viruses and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, it's harder to follow what's in forth, but I had fun with it, and I'm glad they didn't pull, like we said, the Dark Knight Rises, where he might still be alive. It's just like, no, he completed the mission.
Yo, what if he does? What if Q is on vacation with his boyfriend?
The cafe,
because they never really confirmed it, but I think we all basically kind of know that Q is gay. He loves Japan, but he was making some kind of Japanese meal. For those that didn't catch it, he was using a very traditional type of Japanese cooking ware. But anyways, and he was listening to older style Inca. It's called Inca, which is Japanese folk music. But anyways, what if Q is on vacation in Japan, and he looks up and he sees Bond with a martini shaken, not stirred, and you start hearing the music. Right. Oh, that would be hella funny. But yeah.
But I found that he even in him dying and trying to ask Q, it was heartbreaking. Like, Q, is there any cure for this? Is there anything? He's like, this, there's no cure. That he found peace. Like, all right, I did something good at the end of the day.
Right.
The whole Superman thing. I don't read that much of Superman. I like the character, and to me, I'm not losing sleep over this.
Yep.
There's been 90 years of this stuff, and we always, when it comes to new takes on these characters or their legacy characters, they're doing something with Jonathan Kent that it's fresh and it's not the same old stuff. And if people like these same old stuff, well, you can go read it. You can go buy it. You can go
Right.
watch it. I'm not when this stuff blew up. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm happy for the bisexual community, the gay community. There's another character entry point. Good on them. Am I gonna pick up this book? I don't think so, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna go into my comic book shop and be like, "How dare you put this on the shelf?" It's just like,
Right.
let them be. There's if I want to read Jonathan Kent stuff, there's older stuff, which again, the character's not that is recent.
Right.
I mean,
And then on top of and then on top of that, you as you said, you weren't even reading the comic to begin with.
right.
So, and for me, I always wanted to check out Son of Kal-El. And I was like, man, because I love Tom Taylor's work.
Yes.
I've loved his work since, I guess, Injustice and such. There you go. Right. Yeah.
Johnny Wolverine.
He is known for helping revolutionize certain characters. And it was like, but I just hadn't had a chance to pick up his work. And then now that this whole thing made a controversy, I'm like, you know what? Let me finally go and check out his work on Superman. And I've been with it, so I'm good with it. Yeah.
Which is weird to me because right now, and I looked at my comics, I have more independent stuff than Marvel and DC stuff, and I'm very, I guess, picky with titles just because it's a commitment to reading a series, even if it's not
absolutely
a mini series or a max series. So I even to that point, Tom Taylor, anybody who has doubt in this stuff is like I'm not gonna read it, but that doesn't mean I could vouch for the guy. The guy is talented, and the fact I had no problem with someone like Laura Kinney taking up the mantle of Wolverine.
Yeah.
And the fact that I rooted for her and I almost like her just as much as Logan, that says something about the writer.
Totally. Yeah, totally. Cool. Well, sounds good, man. Well, I appreciate all your input on it. Is that something, but do you think you will start checking out Superman, Son of Kal-El now, the storyline?
I think I will in due time. Nowadays, and it's odd, even with films and whatnot, that as much as I love cinema, as much as I love comic books, I'm not financially at a great place where I could just buy stuff and whatever. I have to be very selective. And if I'm not buying it right now, if I'm not reading it right now, that doesn't mean that there's no possibility of me checking out later and getting out the trade paperback.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
If enough friends of mine like recommended, and be like, it's really, really good, I'm like, all right, in due time, I will watch it. I don't want to read it just for the sake of it's the freshest new thing and it made headlines on CNN. It's just like, no, a good example I always said was Alfred Hitchcock. I didn't see his films when I was a kid. When it was time for me to discover him, he came into my life, and I love his film. The same thing with most of these characters that I'm like, okay, right now is the time for me to check it out, and I'll love it even more than other stuff.
I agree with you. All right, Ronan, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, and see you for DC Fandom.
Hell yeah, man. It's going to be bonkers. I'm excited for Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. All right, man. Later, dude.
See ya, man.
Peace. Yeah, I hope Peacemaker is going to be better than that one little clip that they sent. April, miss you on your reactions for Walking Dead. What happened there? I just stopped doing them. That was it. As simple as that. I just stopped doing them. Just didn't really feel like it anymore during the pandemic. In short, I was like, pandemic last, and then especially at that time when The Walking Dead first started, it was like 5,000 something people getting sick around me, and I was just like, nah, man. The last thing I want to do is watch a show where it's very similar to stupid people making stupid decisions and like a whole survival story. So I just kind of fell out of love with it, and hopefully I guess now would be the time to get back into it in terms of like at least watching it, because right now is like the best time. We have no Marvel show. Titans is almost finished, and so, but I don't know, but in terms of actually reacting to it, I don't know, because there's Stargirl, there's a bunch of other stuff. So, and then also it just wasn't really doing that well in the views as well. So that was one of the other reasons I kind of dropped it. So yeah. Did I see the AOT trailer? Yeah, just go look at the channel. It's been up there for about 12 hours now. All right, let's go to the next one. Jedi. What's up, man? You're muted.
Go on, man.
What's going on, dude?
Good to see you. But yeah, first of all, I just want to shout out to my bro Ronan. Make sure you guys subscribe to Ronan Unchained on YouTube. Support the dude. Anyway, but yeah, just want to say on the topic of what if, I just want to say that first of all, Doctor Strange MVP 2 times in a row, MVP this and Infinity War. So yeah, I just thinking that the possibility of that now seeing him in possibly in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, probably rumors about that, seeing like the other version of him. I'd actually be interested in that. But one thing I would question I had proposed is like what they were setting up in the second half of the episode, and what your and DC Sun reaction for a split moment. I was like, wait a minute, did he just brought her into the MCU? And it's like, nope. And I'm like, this is pre-lawsuit. That's why, So yeah, and I just thought that, okay, now in the future, how can do they have this scapegoat now? We could have the Watcher to bring back Robert Downey Jr. from a different universe or Chris Evans from a different one. Now have that scapegoat. But this is just like a fan. I'm just waiting for the day when we get Fantastic Four, that we have a young Franklin Richards and we have the Watcher in the background narrating, and a little baby Franklin Richards is turning around, it's like, I see you, bitch. And yeah, so but yeah, going to the topic of obviously the Superman being bisexual and everything. And me and Jay King, we did a video about this. Shout out to him too. What the conversation we have is I go to what the famous quotes that Stan Lee said is that the Marvel universe basically reflects the world outside your window. I believe that the DC universe as well, right? And my thing is that over time, consistently, what you've seen over like 10 years ago, I don't want to make the equivalent in terms of race and sexuality together, but just think of terms of representation we had in this past year. We've had a lot of Asian representation that we've had probably 10 years ago to the extent we have now. Not talking about in with Squid Games, but just in representation with Shang-Chi. 10 years ago, a black Spider-Man was just not even known of. And then obviously Riri Williams, which now Riri Williams wouldn't get hurt in less than a year, and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So I'm thinking that narrative is that foolishly pushing the narrative and actually knowing that this is a big deal and his character wasn't really a defining point, like to his character. I just feel people overreacting. And a Dean Cain, if you're watching this, bro, I want you to lean to the camera real quick, right? And we should stay there. All right. And but yeah, because every time they use Fox and Friends, use him as a scapegoat, just to use him for speaking for the comic book audience, and you don't speak for us. I'm saying that. But yeah, that's basically my 2 cents on that.
Okay, sounds good. So have you been reading Superman, Son of Kal-El?
Yes, I have. Jay King been helping me out with that a little bit. Am I getting feedback or something?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Jay King been helping me out with a little bit of just terms of the comic book references I've been getting, because I too was kind of like a little bit lost with just like, wait a minute, how old is he now? And I just a little bit off because I just remember like, yeah, you and Damian Wayne are now buddies now, and now going to a point of, okay, now he just like, I don't know if it's just a Kryptonian thing and anything like that, but I was not really interested into the comic book. Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't really interested in terms of comic book, the storyline now, but I'm going to be paying attention to it because I just know like where this can be going. And I agree to the points that you're making that like this is just a trait of his character. Same thing with Tim Drake. Even though the Tim Drake thing, I understand you like the look all the relations he's been in now, just like, oh, okay, just snap fingers now, asking, but it wasn't even a direct, he wasn't kissing nobody. He just asked somebody on a date or something.
Right.
So I think with this is kind of the shock value was that still image, right? And that's what I think what you're getting the reaction of. But I just said
yeah, I mean that's true because John Kent purposely looks just like his father and or a Superboy. So you just seeing like essentially Superman kissing another man like that, all passionate. All the heterosexuals are getting a little jealous, man. They wish they could kiss somebody that well. So I'm just saying. But yeah, interesting. All right, cool. So you're interested. You will be checking out the story.
Yeah, I will be just for seeing how consistent are they, or just for obviously
exactly
the selling point is target audience. But yeah,
exactly.
That's capitalism for you.
Hey, they're just trying to make money, just like the rest of us, man.
Absolutely.
If DC fans had if they could do an OnlyFans, they would. In fact, anyways, all right, Jedi Mike, appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Peace, man.
Peace. All right, let's see. Let's go for Damn, this dude said, I would rather watch a movie on Homelander than Superman at this point. Soup is a lame character. I mean, literally, Homelander is a archetype, or is the Superman archetype. So it's so interesting how people like. I wonder what people would think if next season Homelander straight up had sex with a dude. Like booty bumped some dude as punishment. People are gonna get all mad because of that. But the Boys comics has been out for at least over 10 years or more. Like that's exactly what Homelander has had sex with men, women, ripped a freaking baby in half, tore a baby out of a woman's stomach. And Anthony Starr has commented on it. He says he doesn't think the show will ever go that far. But yeah, dude, Homelander has split a dude in half right through his butthole. So it's like, yeah, exactly. Homelander, Soldier Boy. I'm like, y'all are getting all up mad about Superman. And then, but suddenly, okay, if Omni-Man or Homelander does it, it's fine. So it's kind of like, come on now. Yeah. Homelander is homicidal. That has nothing to do with being gay. Like, I don't even think Homelander is gay though. Homelander just does it just because he can. That's it. That's basically it. Yeah. All right. Let's go to the next one. Let's go with. Let's see what's up with Rex here. Hi, Rex. You're muted somehow. You might have to turn on your mic. Now you. Okay, hello? We cannot hear you, my friend. Tess. Uh-oh. We're gonna have to read his lips. What is he trying to say? All right, we'll come back, Rex. See what we'll come back. And we'll check on you in a second. All right. Kyle. Hello.
Hey, Akasan, how are you?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Glad to see you're feeling a little better.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, it's still coming up, but yeah.
Yeah. You got to rest up for DC fandom, that's for sure.
It's going to be a 1 a.m. It's going to be a 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. stream for me. So yeah, I damn well better rest up. Yeah, but we should be all right. Yeah. So what do you think about what's going on in the news?
So, I'll talk about No Time to Die. I saw that for the second time yesterday. And I will say the first time I watched it, I was very upset watching it because it's interesting that like when I saw The Last Jedi, I wasn't upset about it. Like I thought they made some like very interesting decisions regarding like the characters and stuff, but I wasn't upset watching Rise of Skywalker. Really, like a lot of these movies or so like people get upset about, I don't find myself upset. But for No Time to Die, the fact that they killed James Bond at the end, the way they did it, I was kind of upset about because, as I said, like, I think Safin was a terrible villain. Like, he was one of the worst, like, I think Bond villains that we've seen. And I think it all goes back to just his motivations and reasoning, right? Because, like, the movie opens in this great opening sequence that I love where, like,
Very
he goes in.
Well done.
Yeah, like,
very Dark Knight-ish. Yeah.
Yeah. And you think he's gonna kill Madeline, but then he saves her life. But at what point did he save her life and then decide to poison her and her child? Like, at what point did this character do this? Like, I feel like we're missing something in terms of the story. And he says that he was infatuated with Madeline. And that's something that it's creepy because, you know, she was clearly a child when he found her. And then he's now upset that she is with James Bond. But then it makes me question, like, okay, so if Savin was behind the scenes this entire time, where was he in Spectre when Madeline was captured by Spectre and, like, hooked up to a bomb and ready to blow up? Did he not take offense to the fact that they had grabbed her? Like, was he just waiting for this virus to happen and then he would have his whole plan come together? Like, it was very, very
there were a lot of plot holes in this particular movie, but at the same time, I kind of think that they were sort of writing a more formidable script in the 11th hour, like just to kind of like get some kind of classic Bond story to be written. Well, their real goal was just to basically tell the story of Bond having a family and coming to terms with, like, they were trying to basically bookend everything that was happening in the four episodes of 4 movies previously, and you could see that everything was fairly solid in the beginning, but toward the third act it sort of fell apart with them trying to tie the loose ends. Yeah,
I agree with that too, especially on rewatch. Because on rewatch, I like the movie way more, and I think it was the third act that really is where you just question what happened. Because even like the stuff with Blofeld, I felt was a bit off. Because like, he's not. He's like when
it's weird. It's very weird. Yeah, like
when Bond grabbed him and he's like, "Die, Blofeld, die!"
Right,
like, is this an Austin Powers?
And he died. Yeah, it was quite weird. Yeah,
Like,
especially for somebody eliminating all of Spectre that particular way. For somebody to eliminate all of Spectre, Siphon was pretty weak at the end of the day. I'm like, okay, so first you took out all of Spectre, the thing that's been controlling all of the Craig's Bond movies forever. You took them out like that, and now the rest of your plan is to poison the world? Like, okay, yeah, weird. Yeah.
And also like, I don't know if you know this, but like the Bond, like the production company behind Bond, Eon, they make all the Bond movies. They made all the Bond movies since the 60s. And they had like a huge court issue regarding Spectre where they couldn't use Spectre for like 50 years.
Oh, wow.
And the guy that had this court issue, he died in like 2013. So then they could finally use Spectre. And that's why we see Spectre come out in 2015.
That makes sense.
But see, originally, like, they had Quantum in the series. Quantum was like the poor man's Spectre, and they just couldn't use Spectre. So then they're like, you know what? Spectre's in charge of all of this.
Quantum, and that makes sense.
One of the problems, I think, is that I think they just should never have connected these movies, because I think one of the charming things about the Bond franchise is that every movie is usually its own story.
Yeah.
And they tried that with Skyfall, and that's why I think makes Skyfall so great, because Skyfall is really completely separate from Casino, from Quantum.
I know what you're getting at, but at the same time, though, Skyfall leans heavily on the idea of completely changing Bond's world from the inside out. They replace M, they kill off M and put a new M in there. Q is introduced for the first time. MI6 is blown to hell. And like everything, and then they also they gave Bond essentially some form of an origin story with Skyfall Ranch. So I know what you're trying to say, but at the same time, by connecting them and having some sort of context to it, that's what made Skyfall work so much, is because of the fact that you realize that, like, this isn't the same Bond that you're used to. This is a Bond that literally gets old. Like, he had to fake how hardcore he is. The moment everybody leaves, he's about to pass out. And like, that was what was kind of genuine about that, was just showing how human and how much time Bond really has left. So yeah.
But see, the thing that I do like about Skyfall is that it doesn't rely on other storylines from like
Fair
Casino Royale and Quantum to make the film a better movie, because like one of the biggest problems with Spectre is that Blofeld, by him saying that, I was, connected, it just makes you say, oh wait, you're not that good of a villain. You need to say that you were connected.
Right, you were
to
watching
Silva.
the entire
was
time.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, Inspector, I didn't even know who the hell that old dude was that killed himself until later. I had to look it up. I'm like, who the fuck is Mr. White? And I'm like, oh, you mean the dude that showed up for all of 2 minutes at the end of the first movie? I was like, who? And to this day, I still think they look dramatically different. So it like Spectre had almost little to no impact when this dude offed himself, because I was like, am I supposed to know who this guy is? And so I agree with you with the connection points. Yeah,
that's a great point, because that's another thing that bothered me with No Time to Die was Felix, because really we haven't
seen him for like 10 years.
Yeah. And like, do you remember the scene in Spectre when Bond says to Monica Bellucci's character, I have a friend named Felix that can help you out? I don't think anyone remembers that.
No, nobody does. Yeah.
It's like they kind of assumed that it's the MCU and like, we're all attached to the characters, but we really haven't gotten attached to them. Like, we're attached to Bond, but like,
right.
I wanted
No,
to
you're
see
right about that. No, like, I didn't even realize that the homegirl. So I watched No Time to Die, and then that same day I went home and I was like, you know what, let me get my Daniel Craig marathon on. So I watched Knives Out for the first time. And then it wasn't until later that I didn't realize that the person who plays Marta in Knives Out, the maid or the housekeeper or whatever, I didn't realize that's the same woman that's like basically discount Gal Gadot in No Time to Die. She looks beautiful, but I was like, yo, it's crazy how connected it all is.
Have you seen Blade Runner 2049?
I have. Wait, she's in that movie too?
She's Ryan Gosling's hologram girlfriend.
See, that's how little, like, it's just so interesting how like how some of these actors will reprise roles, but it's like the only reason I know that now the only reason I know who Felix is because of What If, and I'm like, yo, the Watcher is helping out the Bond dude like that. So very
interesting. Actually Jeffrey Wright liked my tweet because I said could we call this the week of Jeffrey Wright, given that we have a What If finale and No Time to Die out? And he's like, yes, you may.
Yep. As we should. Yeah, as we should. Well, right on, man. Well, I'm good to hear about your thoughts on No Time to Die. Are you interested in seeing do you think that they should retire the Bond franchise for a few years, or should they just go right into basically doing another Batman v Superman and like recasting or the casting and starting a whole nother universe as soon as possible?
Well, it's always been the ideal like thing for them to do with Bond, where like they sometimes wait a couple of years until we get the new Bond. Because when we had Pierce Brosnan as Bond back when Die Another Day came out, that was out in 2002. We didn't get another Bond movie till 2006. So
Okay.
Was about
so a 4-year gap. Okay.
It was a 4-year gap, and that is all revolving around first them having to get Bond. But luckily, the difference here, and this is the one thing that makes this movie so different from other films, is that they finally were able to say this is Daniel Craig's final film, because no other Bond got a final film. No other Bond knew that this would be the final time. So they've always had that, I think, 1-year gap where they don't know what they're going to do. Right. And that's why No Time to Die took so long to come out, because they were still questioning, is Daniel coming back? Is he not? And then they ended up doing No Time to Die. But now, since we don't have that situation, I believe one of the producers, I believe it was Barbara Broccoli, came out and said we're going to start looking for the next Bond next year.
Right.
So
do you think they should do a Bond Enter the Bondiverse type of storyline? No.
I don't know if you know this, but they were actually going to make a Jinx spinoff with Halle Berry back in like the early 2000s.
Wow.
And they canceled that idea, and they kind of just realized, see, Bond isn't a character where you can have like multiple spinoffs.
Okay.
What you can do, and this is what I think what they should do, is Ana de Armas was amazing in No Time to Die. I think that is like everyone's favorite part of No Time to Die. And like, I think they should bring her back in another Bond movie as the same character, but then have another Bond that is maybe, you know, more can play off of her for a longer time.
See, I didn't really find her all that spectacular. I was just like, okay, whatever. She was like I was like, it really looked like a glorified cameo. I'm like, yo, what did she do? Like yeah, she actually kicked more ass than the other 007.
Yeah.
But I was like, why is she in this movie at all? Like, it almost was like they were setting her up for a spinoff because she was in and out.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, you got something better to do? Why don't you come and help? Like, yeah, it was really weird.
I think that like that sequence should have been Nomi's sequence, because it really felt, especially the way they marketed her character, especially in the trailers, you're like, oh wait, she kind of looks like a real badass. And then you watch the movie, and she, like you were saying before, she only gets a couple of moments. And it's frustrating too, because like you see her driving the car, you see her in the plane, but they don't do anything with it. It's just in there.
I wouldn't be surprised. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if down the line we're gonna hear about the Hamea, the Fukia cut or something, where they like there's 30 minutes of her scenes that were cut out because Sony or whoever panicked because of the outrage of the fact that she was taking over as the new 007, and so they cut out a whole bunch of scenes or something like that, because it really felt like something was missing a lot. So
I tell you what I would like to see more of, and that's, I wish they gave Naomi Harris as Moneypenny more stuff to do, because she was great in Skyfall. And
I mean, she did shoot Bond, but yeah.
Yeah, but it still was a cool scene. Like, I still love that part when she's driving the car and then she like kicks and punches the windshield open. And like in Spectre and in No Time to Die, we've just seen her sit behind a desk and stare at a screen. And it feels like the character they, you know, shown in Skyfall, I felt like I wanted to see more of her in this series.
Fair
and
enough.
I feel like maybe if they didn't have Nomi as 007, having Moneypenny as 007,
back to active service,
yeah, but it would have built up the characters. Like, it would have been like the MCU with how they've developed their characters.
The only thing I would say, I see where you're going with that, but the only thing is it kind of it kind of makes a lot of Skyfall pointless in terms of the fact, like, well, like the whole thing is a lot of people retire for a good reason, but if it's like suddenly like, oh well, I went back to active service because the plot asked for it, then it doesn't really, it makes the impact of why they retired. The whole reason she retired was like, yo, I legit shot Bond. Like, I'm not built for this right now. I'm gonna just sit behind a desk here. So it's interesting. Well, all right, Kyle. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for your thoughts on No Time to Die.
Hope you feel better soon, Akasa.
Yeah, man. DC fandom. Let's go. All right, man. Later.
Okay,
Peace.
take care.
All right. I don't know if you had anything to say about bisexual Superman, but we spent a lot of time on No Time to Die, which is good. I really enjoyed that movie, though. Yeah, Naomi. Yep. She was legit my favorite movie of the year. Yeah, perfect. God, was she? Wait, really? Was that the same girl? I didn't know that. I thought she was. It was the chick from Pirates of the Caribbean. Calista. Venom 2. God. All right, let's try Rex. See if his mic works this time.
Hey,
Hello. Hey, it works now. What's up?
so yeah, bisexual. My baby brother. I'm holding my baby brother right now.
Yeah, I was
so,
about to say, what was that
yeah.
noise? But it's all good.
Yeah. Bisexual Superman.
Yeah.
I yeah. So yeah, bisexual Superman. As a bisexual person myself, I like the representation, but I would feel like they should make new bisexual characters instead of like turning old ones into bisexual. Like if they came out and said Clark Kent is gay and he like breaks up with Lois Lane, I would have a problem with that.
Okay.
But not because they like are making him bisexual, because they like turned the truest part of his character like into something that he's not, if that makes sense.
I mean, well, can we really say that the truest part of Clark Kent's character is him being heterosexual?
I mean, yeah, that's true. I guess the truest part of him
I'm
is
not
an alien.
I'm not disagreeing with you about the point you're making, but I also think those are dangerous standards to
No, yeah,
put up
they
there.
are. Yeah,
And
they
say
are.
that,
They are.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
But but John Kent is not that old of a character.
That's
and we've
true.
only seen him as a kid. So do you feel like John Kent being bisexual is a changing an original character?
I guess not.
Okay. Yeah, definitely the truest part is truth, justice, and well, they changed that a little bit too. But yeah. All right. So have you actually been reading any of the Superman Son of Kal-El comics?
No.
Okay. Is
But,
it something
yeah.
that encourages you to want to check it out now because of the fact that they announced that he's coming out as bisexual?
Yes and no. I guess like I would like to see, what encourages me to read it is like how he comes out and what like makes him feel like comfortable and safe about coming out. But I wouldn't just like pick it up because like, oh, he's coming out, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
No, it makes sense. Well, I will definitely say that Tom Taylor, Academy award-winning award-winning writer and novelist, he's no joke. Like, I haven't really read anything bad from him ever, and there's good comic book writers that put out bad stories sometimes. Bendis, for example. But Injustice, Earth 2, the Wolverine story somebody mentioned earlier. I really feel like he's going to be able to handle this story authentically. One of the first issue handles it really well, where you can see that Jonathan and John is not his father. He is Superman, but he is a little different. Wow. But he represents what it means to be a Superman, but he also gets kind of frustrated in the sense that, why am I putting out fires literally when I need to figure out who's causing these fires, who's making these forest fires. Why can't I do more to to knock out that situation first? And then he wonders, why didn't my father ever do more to completely change the world? And it starts to creep into the Injustice style territory of like, okay, what if Superman just went and popped some dictator's head off or something like that? So I think they're going to handle it fairly well. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised if that's the proper if that's the kind of representation you're looking for in the comics and such. I don't think it's going to be just thrown in as to be controversial. I think Tom is going to handle it very well. So
yeah. But and again, about the like making old characters like bisexual, like gay or like trans,
Yeah.
people have been freaking out because like they made 2 characters, or 3 if you count Iceman, back in like the early 2000s, that they think now that they've made Tim Drake and Jonathan Kent, they're going to turn all the Marvel characters and all the DC characters gay. And I'm like, no, they're picking what characters I feel like are meant to be gay, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
And what
naturally,
characters?
yeah,
right,
it could
naturally,
be accepted,
yes,
right? Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
What characters are naturally gay and what characters aren't, and I feel like that's why they're choosing Tim Drake and Jonathan Kent and Iceman and all those characters, is because they're naturally gay, I think. And yeah, I mean,
It's an interesting thing because, well, you make a very good point in the sense that early on, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, these characters weren't even switched to being bisexual.
right,
They were just straight up saying, okay, nah, Iceman is gay now.
right,
Nova is gay from Alpha Flight. I think that's what his name was. Nova. There's 2 Novas, I think. One guy from Alpha Flight and another Nova. They were like, they're just straight gay, instead of being bisexual. But I think they've been taking the safer route nowadays by just saying, well, they're bisexual, so they can have both sides instead. So but even Harley Quinn has basically been like really
slowly
fluid.
becoming gay.
Not even that. Like, well, that's a good point, but maybe just more or less bisexual, and nobody bats an eye. But I definitely think when it comes to like male characters, it seems to be a much harder stance to take when people are like that. So even Alan Scott, as we talked about earlier, is his old man decided to be gay and is like, wait a second. And people were mad about, like, some people were mad about that. So
even Guy Gardner.
Yeah, right. That's right. They did make Guy Gardner gay. So, it's interesting, but all right. But well, hopefully you'll check it out, Rex. Yeah. Hopefully you'll check out the comic.
And the What If finale.
Okay, what's up?
So we know that WandaVision and What If and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and Loki are a part of this 5 like connective event in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the multiverse event. We know that they're connected to each other, and they're all leading to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. But I feel like the What If like finale, I feel like some of it was weak.
What? On what level?
On the level of like they've been building up to this like multiverse, like multiverse cosmic level like extinction event, and I feel like it was like underwhelming because
really, they seem to be going to different planets and like it seemed like it was a pretty big fight. No,
I mean, like the finale to me like felt like it would have been like, so this is the extinction of the multiverse and they had to save it.
So you're thinking more or less like on DC lines of
like Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Right. So you wanted some sort of like convergence and there'd be like one world or something like that.
Yeah.
I think with the way, because the MCU is so connected and all the properties that Disney is putting out is so connected, that would have been a little hard to make like one universe or what have you not. So I think they and because this isn't the biggest thing that they're working on, so I think it's all right what they did. Yeah,
it was a good finale. It was just like I thought they were trying to do that, but I don't think they were.
So you feel like they missed the mark.
They missed the mark,
for you. Well, there's always season 2, hopefully.
Right, yeah.
Right.
And that's coming out in 2050.
Probably, yeah, probably. We're gonna be old. We're gonna all be old bisexual gay men by the time that
Yeah.
season comes out. We'll
Mhm.
see. All right. Well, Rex,
Oh,
thank you,
one
man.
more.
Oh yeah.
One
What's
more
up?
question. So the finale of James Bond: No Time to Die. I haven't
Yes.
seen it. I haven't seen it yet. But John Campia said that he felt like the third act went off the rails.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Kind of, yeah. It seems like they were just really trying to fit. Like everything seemed very polished in the first and second, and there was a nice smooth sort of play. But then the third act sort of just kind of went to pieces and that generally happens a lot with the Bond movies. That there's the finish is never really that good. But it looks like they just had a lot of rewrites, and they weren't really sure what they wanted to end it on, but they had this main point that they wanted to get to, and they got to that point, but how they got there seemed a bit weak a lot. But overall I still thought it was handled very well, so yeah.
And people think that Henry Cavill is going to be in the next James Bond. Is that true?
I doubt it. I doubt it. I think Henry Cavill would love to have that role, but I don't think that's something that they're willing to explore right now, because I don't think I personally, unfortunately, as much as I like Henry, I don't think he's that good of an actor to handle a franchise like that. Like they would have to do something particularly right with him, because we've seen him I haven't seen him in the movie Uncle, the British kind of spy movie, but that didn't really make enough waves for people to be like, yo, I want to see him as 007.
Right,
he seems to have the look, but he's pretty wooden in most of his performances. But people said the same thing about Daniel Craig when he first started, that he was a theatrical actor and that he was going to come out really wooden in his performances, but it kind of worked. But I don't know if you can have the same sort of telling that they did with Daniel Craig the same way as Henry. Like the next Bond is definitely going to have to be dramatically different from Craig's sort of storytelling.
Right.
So.
And what I was saying about Superman, I was just saying that it wouldn't feel like, I mean, he's been around for 80 years now, so him being gay, it wouldn't feel like Superman, if that makes sense. I mean, if he was gay, I would be cool. That would be cool. I would be fine with that. I wouldn't care, because I wouldn't care. I don't care if they make all of the characters gay. I really don't. But if they made Superman gay, that would be cool. But it just wouldn't feel like, I don't know. I feel like Superman, Clark Kent, is that's who he is.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No, I kind of see what you're trying to say, but yeah, I mean, that is a legacy character, and it's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as Batman killing somebody. It's so off the rails of what defines the character as we know, the status quo of that character.
Right.
So if you suddenly just change that, it doesn't feel like the character anymore. I think you can be safe and sound that I don't think DC or Warner Brothers will ever make Superman gay.
I mean, I wouldn't care if they did,
but I don't think they ever will. The actors might be gay, but in real life, there was a whole thing about that where the guy who plays I forgot his name, Matt Boomer was on a very short list of people that were going to take to play Superman before they picked up Henry Cavill. But depends on who you ask, but Matt Boomer was kind of essentially hinting as the fact that he got taken off that short list is because he's a gay man in real life.
Oh wow.
And they just didn't feel like a gay man playing Superman was going to work well in the long run. So You know, I personally think he looks like a better Batman, but you know, that's me. All right, Rex, we're done for today.
Okay.
I
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you for your time, man.
Always a pleasure.
Pleasure, man. See you
See you on
for
DC,
DC fandom. Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go, Matt. Later. All right. Let me get this guy real quick because he's laughing his ass off the entire conversation. What's up, Anime is Art? I know you got some shit to say. Yeah.
That confused the living hell out of me for a while.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Everybody has their opinion. So what is yours?
On bisexual Superman, because it's John, fair enough. It's the son of Superman. It's a new character. Do what you will with it. It's not. It's the same thing when they said they wanted to do Black Superman. If you're not doing Clark, if you're going to do Val Zod, if you want to do Steel, do it. You got that. The only problem we had, don't make Clark black. That was the only issue we had at the time. So don't make Clark gay. We don't have a problem with that. It's a legacy character.
Correct.
So you also mentioned Alpha Flight. That was North Star being gay, wasn't it?
The North Star, yeah. I got Nova and North Star mixed up. Yeah, it was North Star. North Star, I think, was, to me,
always gay.
Right.
Wasn't North Star always gay?
He was like Asian and gay or something like that. Yeah. Like as a kid, he was like the first time I was introduced to a gay comic book character, and that was a big thing Marvel was trying to push. And I was like, he's gay? Okay, cool, whatever. And then I'm still gonna not read this comic. So
I started reading Alpha Flight because that was Wolverine's backstory in Canada.
Right.
And it was just a new gay character, so I didn't give a shit. It was just he had a twin sister as well, and I just found that cool.
Right.
That was it.
Right.
I didn't care about the sexual gender bullshit. It's like they shot light beams out of their hands. I found that cool. But I haven't
now
been
as an adult, that has a whole nother meaning. Sparkling. Okay.
Oh, jeez. But I've been out of comics for a while. I didn't even know Iceman was gay.
Yeah. Iceman being gay, I think, is over 10 years now. Yeah, I think.
See, that's how far, like, I've collected comics in the past for a while. Like, I've had it since back in the day when you used to go to the news agency and get it. And he never struck me as a character that would have been gay, because he had heaps of relationships with women growing up. Like, he was the playboy type character in the X-Men group.
Right.
So when the guy was suggesting, they're picking characters who might be the most gay, I was like, Iceman's Bobby, he's the opposite to gay.
It was one of those times where people, like, they were just picking and choosing certain people that they were really trying to change around and reestablish and everything. But especially back then, that was becoming a big thing. I think they even interviewed the actor that played Iceman in the original X-Men stories, and they're like, what do you think about this? And he was like, oh, whatever. You know, that's what the whole thing about mutants is. It's a metaphor in some ways of the retelling of the civil rights movement and the way that a lot of homosexual people will feel trying to adapt into a society and the way they are treated. So X-Men is a good reflection of that. Why not have a few gay mutants like that? So but yeah, like, you know, it was like that was a big problem back then too, but people just kind of got over it, and I think if anything they reconned it.
The only way that I can understand that, as the way you pointed it out, with the X-Men specifically being designed for like minority groups, because they're a minority group in themselves as mutants,
right?
And how they reflect that. They're different in a way from Superman. Like you said, you would not change Clark Kent, but in regards to the mutants, you're happy enough to change the mutant legacy characters. So they get treated differently to Superman in that regard.
Right.
On to the actual subject, though, is what if.
Okay.
The episode 8, I loved it because I treated that as if it was Infinity War. They're hyping up the villain. They made Thanos look strong in Infinity War. They did the same with Ultron. And I think the problem is they made him too OP.
Okay.
We saw him eat a friggin' universe at one
True.
point.
True.
And then you get to episode 9, the finale, and it's like they didn't know what to do with him, so they nerfed him down to the point where he was as stupid as a human.
Right. Even cracking jokes after the Viva Las Vegas thing. Yeah. Right. Right.
It's like half the time I was watching the episode, I was like, why doesn't he clone his army to be as strong as his original body? How come he designs his body so stupid that they can just pluck a gem out of his body? He doesn't use the gems to teleport the gem to his body or shift reality around the gem to bring it to him. He just, he essentially turns into a dumbass for the sake of the plot.
I mean, it's the same thing. We could be writing things about, like, why didn't anybody watch Killmonger early on? Like, he wasn't really doing much. Like, they gotta kind of tell a story. And when you get into these especially when you get into cosmic stories, there's so many plot holes that can show up. So I don't expect it to be too sensible when you're dealing with multiverse type stories and cosmic type situations, because you got to end the story somehow, some way, you know.
I know the two biggest issues that popped up for me were both tied to the Watcher in the end, and it popped up with one. It's the title of the issue is called "What if the Watcher had broken his vow?" and he does, but he doesn't fight for the entire episode.
I was wondering about that as well. Yeah.
So I'm like, if I was Strange or anybody else in that group, I'd be calling him out on his bullshit, because he does help throughout the episode at the end, but he just doesn't fight.
Right. Why does Strange have to be the one to be monitoring this at the end of the day? Like, this dude was the MVP of everything. At least put Strange in another world that he doesn't exist or something or whatever. Like, this dude is going to be in the Shadow Realm forever. Like, yeah.
And Strange points out there at the end, and this is where I think it's a direct writing mistake, as if they didn't know what they were doing when they wrote this line. Strange actually says to the Watcher, "You knew all of this was going to happen, didn't you?" And I was like, if he knew this was all going to plan out the way it was, why was the Watcher afraid of Ultron in the previous episode? He can't be afraid of him and know it was all going to plan out this way in this episode. That contradicts itself.
Maybe the same way as going up a roller coaster. You know, when you're about to drop, you know it's going to happen, but the fear will still find you. Anyways, you know how the ride's going to end, but the actual drop is still going to be scary, possibly.
Yeah. But we also saw him, like, when he went to Widow and Thingy, and he's acting scared. Like, he's like, "Oh, find the bloody hope, find the hope." And you're like, why are you panicking? You can see the future. You know they're going to find the hope.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I know what you're talking about. Maybe it's the same way as us knowing spoilers of a movie, but we still watch it and we're commenting on it when watching it. I don't know. I think you have seen everything.
Yeah. I think the episode works. Like, if you shut off your brain and you watch it for the first time, the episode works. But if you sit down and rewatch it a second time and process stuff, it doesn't work, because, like, the Infinity Crusher, it works when you see it the first time because you think, oh, this thing can destroy the gems. But the second time you watch the episode, you're asking yourself, did they just forget about the arrow for 2/3 of the episode? Wasn't this the main plot point in the previous episode?
Right. Well, that was the main plot point for the Scarlet, the Black Widow, but not the main plot point for the rest of them. Nobody knew about.
Why didn't Widow get added to the group of the Guardians? Why wasn't she added with the arrow? Why didn't he just outright say, "You need to stick this in Ultron"?
I don't know. Like, you're asking the wrong person on that one. I'm like, I think for the sake of telling a story and for it to be interesting, you know, there's some things that they leave out, like, because otherwise, if they just said, if we saw the team meeting and then we saw them with the arrow, then it would have been boring. That the fact that this arrow comes into play that we already knew about, but the fact that it was just kind of there, it's like, that's right, that's kind of cool. And then it's like, okay, let's see what happens. But if you're prepared for it, it's not as exciting like that, especially when the whole plot device of the Infinity Crusher was added in there, because we thought that was going to be the main hope. But when that failed, it was like, now what do we do? So, you know, it's just about kind of saying trying to tell a strong story like that.
I think
as best
the
as they
difference.
can in 30 minutes.
I think the difference was, like, you were watching these episodes as they came out each week, weren't you?
Yes.
I got my Disney subscription and pretty much binged quite a few of the episodes in one hit. So the plot from the previous episode I just watched, like, right beforehand.
Makes
so
sense.
It was like fresh in my head, and I'm just like, and the Gamora episode didn't even air. So I was like, why the hell is she even in the show? Why is this Deus Ex Machina arsehole in the show?
Right. You're right. Yeah. But overall, I mean, did you still feel like the show was good though?
See, for me, all of What If ended up coming down to Strange. I'm just happy we got this alternate version of Doctor Strange.
Good.
I felt like he carried the show for me. All my enjoyment was tied to this one character.
Nothing wrong with that for some people, you know. Like, it made me respect Strange a lot more. So, you know.
Yeah, it was like that.
War.
It was like, why would you... some of the characters, I was just like wondering, why would you even choose them to be part of the group?
Right. Well, cannon fodder. There you go. All right, Anime well. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
It's all good. Get well, and good luck with the DC fandom.
There you go. All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, man. Later. Canada Graphs, thank you for the $15, man. I appreciate it. Ooh, what the hell? There you go. Yeah, I'm gonna get myself some good snacks. Oh my god. Speaking of tasty snacks, hold on a second. I'll show you. I don't know what we're going to call her. Let me confirm first before I see what. Like, I know what her real name is, but I don't know what name she wants to use in the future. But yeah, man, talking about what did he say? Tasty, yeah, get some tasty snacks. Here's a picture of one of the girls, the girl that's going to be joining us for the DC fandom here. Oh yeah. Fandom indeed. So don't worry, Canada Graphs. I'm gonna get myself a real tasty snack. J King. Speaking of the strip club, yeah, what's up?
Okay. No, we're not starting that shit. Okay, we're not starting that shit. How are you feeling?
I'm all right.
You're doing a lot better than yesterday. You sound like you were dying yesterday.
Yesterday I had the Batman Jeffrey Wright voice going on. In a world, time, existence, space. Yeah, but we're good today. Yeah,
good. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about What If and Superman Bisexual, because I have not seen No Time to Die yet. I'm gonna hopefully see that this weekend. But yeah, so I'm gonna talk about the other two topics then. What If I definitely enjoyed it, because again, this whole story is basically what we needed after going through 3 shows of like important to the MCU in some way. And while What If definitely feels like it's going to be important in some way to like future stories, potentially with maybe bringing back Black Widow or maybe having Strange Supreme in Multiverse of Madness, if that does happen, this definitely felt like a good moment to just like, okay, let's step away from all this Phase 4 stuff. Let's just tell you guys some fun, but also heartbreaking stories as well. And I've definitely enjoyed it. Strange episode 4 will forever be my top favorite episode, right next to What If Ultron won and the T'Challa storyline, because Strange's one just that one just broke my heart. That just broke me when I saw that. I didn't expect to be so fucking sad on a freaking Wednesday morning, but yeah, that's what they decided to do. But overall, I thought the story was great, and I definitely do see like what some people were saying, like, why include Gamora? But I think they had to. They had this whole thing planned from the beginning. And even though the story got cut, I'm pretty sure, and I think they even said that season 2, the first episode most likely will be that story. The watcher might be like, you saw this character when we took down Ultron, but here's her story and things like that. So we're still gonna get that. But my feelings about how to do season 2 without it almost feeling repetitive of season 1, try and do some kind of contest of champions like thing where it's like, instead of just exploring all these different worlds, say someone is plucking all these different characters from other multiverses, a convergence like thing into an arena and a battle royale. It's just that we see their story before they get plucked out by like different universe version of the Grand Master or something like that, and they're put into this battle royale where they got to survive, and Watsu's got to like save them or something like that. I definitely think that something along the terms of that would definitely help season 2 not feel repetitive, and also give it a new light, as well as potential to see more of these characters more than just the 1 or 2 episodes we might see them in. Again, I don't know when season 2 is going to be. Hopefully we don't got to wait that long. Hopefully maybe on Disney Investors Day next month, they'll announce that, hey, season 2 is coming in about like a year or two. Actually, we've already been doing some of the episodes for that. You just haven't seen anything of it yet. I definitely would like something like that. I'll Harley Quinn season 2, something like that.
Time, space. J. Kane's
yeah.
internet
How would you
connection.
feel about
what if it stops working? What if through the perils of time he can't connect?
That was weird.
And gets
that
digital.
was weird. Can you hear me?
What if through the perils of the internet,
can you hear me?
That his connection breaks up? This is the story of J. King and his broken internet connection from the strip club. Hello?
My internet's not broken. Can you hear me or not? Can you not hear me?
Whoa. You see, Marvel is censoring him right now. Look at this. Look at him. He's breaking up through the Matrix. Hello?
Can you hear me or not?
We can kind of hear. Now we can hear you.
Okay, good. I don't know what that was about, but I was asking what did you think?
That's amazing.
What were your thoughts?
Go ahead.
Okay, all right. But it's like, what would you hope for season 2? Like, what would your thoughts be to not let it be repetitive like season 1? Before I talk about the Superman stuff.
No, I mean same thing. Probably that sounds like a cool idea. Like I don't really put my hopes up for anything because they always get diluted and destroyed. So I'm fine with whatever they put out as long as it's good. As long as it's not Titans, then we're good. So.
Yeah, that story's
all right.
weird.
So bisexual, yeah. So it's okay. 2 more episodes to go. So bisexual John Kent.
Okay, so I'm just say yes. I have been reading The Son of Kal-El.
Go ahead.
Okay, I have been reading the Son of Kal-El books, and I have been reading Jonathan Kent's story since he came back when they brought him back with Rebirth and everything like that. As Superboy and growing up, and now being Superman. And when this news dropped the other day, I wasn't surprised because I think that's what a lot of people are not getting. They never confirmed his sexuality because before this, he was a literal child. He was more worried about, understanding his powers, not hurting people, and being the son of Superman. And then after aging up, learning to be his own Superman, he wasn't thinking about which way I swing. He wasn't thinking about that at all until recently. And him being bisexual, again, there's no problem with that because, again, there was no confirmation about it at all. Any female characters that showed up before with him in the Superman books or in Super Sons with him and Damian, there was never an inkling of like, it's a romantic thing. It's more just like a friendship. So it's like, again, I'm perfectly fine with him being bisexual. I really have no problem with it. Since, again, as you said, he technically is still a new character, even though he was created pre-Flashpoint. He is still a new character.
What if he was straight gay, though? I'm just curious what your thoughts would be if he was like, all right, you know what? I'm not even bisexual. I just straight like dick. Would it be? Would you have more of a problem with it?
No, I wouldn't have a problem with it at all.
Would it be harder to follow?
No, because No, because again, like I've grown to enjoy Jonathan as a character just because of the fact that he likes Tube more than a cavern does not at all change the fact that I would all love his stories from the past or enjoy the stories that could come out in the future. Again, I've been enjoying Tom Taylor's work on Superman Son of Kal-El. I've read all 3 issues and will continue to read the book until whenever he decides to be done with it. I trust the writer. I trusted him with Injustice, with Damned. I trusted him with Son of Kal-El. He's also doing Nightwing right now. I've been trusting him with that series as well. He's been doing good with that. So again, I trust him to understand because he understands his characters. He understands how to, move forward in a story with his characters. So I feel like he's going to tell the story in a great way. It's just, as you said, I'm hoping that's not going to be the main driving force of the story. That's the same thing for me. As long as it's not the main driving force, all right, as long as the superhero's relationship is not the main driving force of the story, that it can be balanced well with the superhero life, with the being a regular person life and everything like that, go ahead. Tell him as a bisexual or as a straight up gay character. It really does not matter to me. The same way that it didn't really matter to me that much with Tim Drake. Again, him being bisexual didn't hurt me. I know a lot of people were like, well, what about the relationships in the past? And it's almost a certain thing with Alan Scott. People have gotten married and have kids and then later on find out that, oh, I kind of like men or something like that. It has happened before. So I really have no problem with Tim Drake as well, because again, just because he had relationships with Stephanie Brown or like Raven in the past does not mean he can't all of a sudden explore what it's like to be with a man. And that's the same thing with Jonathan. I really don't care. A lot of people like over hype or over like they just make something a big deal even though it's not. A lot of the stuff has happened before in comics for decades. The comics have reflected our real world since the fucking beginning. Characters, changing up their sexuality or revealing that their sexuality is something like that does not bother me. It didn't bother me with John. Didn't bother me with Tim. It didn't bother me with Iceman when he came out as gay. It didn't bother me with a lot of characters, no matter what continuity, what multiverse, whatever. I just care about the story and I care about them being written well or written in the way that they happen. So again, overall, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm just hoping, again, when this issue comes out in November, I'm gonna read it, and hopefully, it's not the main driving force of the story. And also, hopefully, after that, people will stop making a big deal out of it. But given the internet,
it's been so long. Well, it's been so long that some people forget that even Batwoman used to be straight. Used to just be
because they had like a straight Batwoman before they introduced Kate Kane, and she was revealed to be gay, because before that they had a straight Batwoman to not make people think that Batman and Robin were in a gay relationship.
Like, the only reason they included Batwoman and like a Bat Dog and all this was just to be like, yeah, so Batman and Robin are not gay. Look, because we're gonna create a whole family, Batgirl, all of that was like, because it's like, yeah, this is pretty homoerotic. You got this little boy running around in green underwear. Yeah. Side comic book question, because I know you read all the comics. Did they when I was reading Superman Son of Kal-El and a little bit of that Infinite Frontier thing, whatever, did they depower Superman so that his Kryptonian sperm didn't tear Lois apart or something like that? Because they kept on name dropping, or they kept on dropping words about Kal-El, you've never been this depowered before or whatever, and like they had Lois up on this Fortress of Solitude, like almost doggy style position to give birth to Jonathan, and I'm like, wait, what's going on here? So did they actually depower him so that his Kryptonian DNA didn't tear her apart or something?
I don't remember. I don't think he was depowered at all. I mean, the last time I remember Superman being depowered was back in New 52. I don't remember if he at all was depowered when he gave birth to Brooklyn said vagina steel.
I'm just saying there were a few nods that mentioned that they had to like tone him down just so he could impregnate Lois so that Jonathan's fetus doesn't tear apart like Homelander, basically.
Oh my god. I mean, this dude's strong enough to break a mountain. I think Lois's back would be broken by the first stroke, so
That's the thing. I mean, like everybody's trying to feel bad for the children of America with Jonathan Kent being bisexual. Y'all better start praying for Jay Nakamura because that first experimental booty bump, Jay Nakamura might be like, I'm telling you, issue 4, he comes out. Issue 7, Jay Nakamura is going to be the new Oracle in a wheelchair. We tried once. Once was enough, and that's going to be Jonathan's new. With great power, with great bisexual power comes great bisexual responsibility. Like he put his first and last lover in a wheelchair.
Comes great powerful restraint.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's gonna put Jay in a wheelchair, and that's why he's bisexual, because he will never love another man the same way again, because he literally can't like that. You thought him killing his cat was bad. Yeah, man. Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, Jay King, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And definitely get better. And I will see you for fandom.
Yeah.
You already know where I'll be, but I will see you for fandom.
All right, man. Later, dude. All right. Oh boy. All right. I'm telling you, I was thinking about it earlier. I'm like, look, for everybody talking bad about Jonathan being bisexual, and Metal Ryan, thank you for the resubscription to Twitch. Appreciate that. Saw that about 19 minutes ago. Everybody talking bad about John being bi, but you don't tell me you wouldn't turn down a Kryptonian hand job. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, there's Supergirl, but how old is she? Like Power Girl, but it's not going to be the same as the son of Superman. A hand job, you just be like, ah! I'm just saying. DC fanboy, what's up?
Bro, sometimes I just question what you're talking about. Sometimes, like, what made us go to that point?
Why not? We were just saying, look, I mean, we're talking about love and relationships. Look, them Kryptonians don't play around. There's a reason why people were shipping Superman and Wonder Woman for the longest time, because Superman's probably the only one with the body that can take a pounding like that, literally. Yeah.
Right. Always thought about that. But anyway, so I haven't really like heard your first half of what you guys were talking about, because I showed up recently. So what do you out of the 3 topics, what would you like to hear my opinion on?
Definitely Jonathan Kent being bisexual.
I don't really care, because I don't read the recent comics, so I don't know anything about that. I'm sorry. If I read it, because like I haven't caught up with like the new stuff. I'm still reading the old stuff. Like 2 weeks ago, I went to Barnes and Nobles and I got Batman Dark Victory, because I loved watching the Long Halloween movies and reading the comic. So I'm still like reading. I'm still watching like old stuff, So I haven't really read because I tried. Like I bought a bunch of New 52 graphic novels, right? Like I got the first 2 volumes of Justice League, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Shazam. Then I find out Rebirth happened, and that's another reboot. So I try to catch up with that. I read like the Blue Beetle one. I read Suicide Squad and a few others. So I'm still trying to catch up. So wait, so what's this new Superman from? Like, is he Rebirth? Like, was he introduced in Rebirth?
Essentially, the shortest answer I can give is basically he was canonized from a different universe, but essentially canonized into this universe as being the legit son of Kal-El, but aged up a little bit more because of other weird comic decisions. So yeah. So
yes, yeah. Interesting. Well, I mean, I personally, like I said, I don't know about this character. I've never met him before. I never even knew he existed, because I don't really keep up with the most recent stories. So I guess if I were to give an opinion, I would say it's all right. Depends how you do it. Like I always say, like I said last time, are you doing it just to give yourself a pat on the back, or are you actually trying to give a good story and show a good character and their struggles? Because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Do you watch Superman and Lois on the CW?
Of course I do.
Okay, so if they make Jonathan Kent like season 2, suddenly the actor that plays Jonathan Kent or the character of Jonathan Kent in the CW show, we saw that he had some sort of girlfriend via Skype for a while, and then he was kind of
Yeah,
interested in
long
this.
distance.
Yeah, he was kind of interested in this one girl, but if season 2 suddenly he's like, I like men now, you'd be like fine with that.
Well, that's interesting. For one, it would come out of nowhere, but I mean that sometimes happens in real life. Sometimes
Right.
you think you're one way, and then you when you get older, you find out by yourself. So yeah, but I don't know if the show would do that right away. Maybe season 3, because I feel like season 1, they set up a new relationship after his girlfriend broke up with him. There's like this other girl, and he was like mad at her at first because like he's like, you're using me for information. So I don't know. I don't remember the finale that much, but I think they were still trying to set up like maybe they might get together in season 2. So don't know if the show's gonna do that. But if they did, I'd have to see how they handle it, because maybe it depends how like it happens, because he has to realize that he's gay first and be like,
or at least bisexual. Right?
Yeah, bisexual. Yeah, just like in the comic. Yeah. So yeah, with that topic, yeah. Not really that many thoughts, but I'd have to see it. I'd have to read how they handle it.
DC fandom's coming up, so what are you most interested in seeing?
Well, funny story. I'm actually not gonna be able to watch it because I have work. My schedule does not align, so I can't watch it live.
Yeah, you can watch the replay though.
Yeah. Wait, is it gonna be like last year when they did it? Like they kept repeating it? Oh, okay.
I'm sure they will. They'll probably repeat it for like 24 hours or 48 hours.
Okay, good. Yeah, because it's 4 hours, so I think I'll catch repeat. But yeah, I'm excited for that because I love DC more than Marvel, even though it's not a competition. But I like DC slightly more just because I read more of the comics and I like more of the characters. So of course I'm excited for the event. You know what I'm most excited for?
There you go. Yeah.
Yep. Black Adam. No,
okay.
I'm kidding. The Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that second trailer is coming. Honestly, I'm not even gonna watch it because I'm so excited for the movie that I really don't need to see any footage. I've been doing that a lot this year. I just haven't watched that many trailers for movies I'm excited about. Like I didn't watch the Shang-Chi trailer, the Eternals trailer, Halloween Kills, like that kind of stuff. Like I haven't really been watching trailers lately, and that first trailer showed me just enough. Like it was enough to get me excited and enough to be like, yeah, I don't need to see anything else. I want to see how this plays out. I want to see, like, have a first reaction to how this feels different and what makes it. So yeah, that's how excited I am.
That's how I feel about Dune a little bit, but I want to I want to go check it out. I've only seen like the main trailers and that's it. And then same thing with Eternals. So yeah.
So I guess I'll see some trailers. I do want to see the Black Adam trailer because I really don't know how it's gonna play out. I don't think the Flash is having a trailer, but they're gonna like have some surprises, they said, and probably show some stuff. So I'll probably check that out because I don't know if that movie's gonna be good. I'm honestly saying like I need to see as many trailers as I can just to know if it's gonna be good. Because honestly,
it's okay. I mean, there's always the CW Flash and Armageddon.
Not anymore. Not for the last 3 years. There hasn't been.
All right. Well, right on, man. It was cool.
Yeah.
Wait,
and so are you?
Yeah.
Oh, are you gonna do another call in right for after it?
Of course, yeah. We'll probably do it. We'll probably do it on the Monday after. Yeah,
right.
In all likelihood, we'll probably do it for the Monday after, and we'll talk about. We'll do an entire DC fandom breakdown.
Good. I can't wait to express my thoughts.
Sounds good, man.
Not like last time.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Take care.
Later, DC fanboy. All right, and then there was one. Okay, guys, this is it. The final call, and then we're gonna wrap it up here. As I said, 2 hours or so. I think we're doing well. Okay, here we go. Daniel.
Hello.
Travis. Hi.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Not much. I thought I'd say I've been a fan of your channel for a while.
Cool, man. Where are you calling from? And I like the Batman.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you can see all the Marvel movies being filmed over there and The Walking
Dead.
Dead.
Much. Plus I got some Batman posters.
That's cool.
Yeah. About Superman being bisexual, for me, it just felt. I don't know. This is just me, but it sort of felt for me out of nowhere because I'm like, it's like. Because I understand, they want to have more representation for the characters and all that sort of mumbo jumbo sort of stuff, but it's just like, because I mean, I don't recall if he's had any girlfriend. And then from what I recall, he's had girlfriends, I believe.
So when you were, just to be clear, we're speaking about Jonathan Kent,
Yeah.
Superman's
Yeah.
son, right?
Yeah, because him having, because him being bisexual for me was a little bit quite surprising because I wasn't really like, oh, okay, that was just random.
I see. But have you actually ever followed Jonathan Kent's story at all?
Here and there.
Okay, so that, but
I mean,
to answer your question, no, he hasn't had one relationship because he, the
okay,
only time we've
then,
seen him
yeah,
was he was like
that
10.
makes sense. Yeah. But I have to say I have enjoyed Superman Lois. I thought that show was just
It's a good show. Yeah.
amazing. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised they have not had Lex Luthor show up on that show.
Well, they've teased it, obviously. Like
Yeah.
there is a Lex Luthor in one of those multiverses, but I think that was a good little tease. Like it was like kind of spin it a little bit, but it's actually not Lex Luthor. It's actually Steel
Yeah.
instead. I thought that was a cool tease, and we've had Lex Luthor in Supergirl for the longest time, so it's like, and Lex Luthor was a huge part of the Smallville story, so I'm good with them telling different stories.
Yeah.
And we're not like recycling things.
And then from what I've seen little clips of What If, but the thing that I've sort of have wondered is like I understand the point of What If to do different reality and different stories, but I'm surprised that they even. I've noticed that from what I've, because I haven't watched the show fully. I'm going to, but I've never really understood is that why do they keep killing off Tony Stark in every single reality? Like, do they just like killing off Tony Stark?
In theory, some people have speculated that because Tony Stark essentially was the beginning of the MCU in real life, and in with Robert Downey Jr. It was the first MCU movie, but also in the theory of the multiverses is that it's a fixed point essentially. Tony Stark is a fixed point, or like a nexus point, so when you change that situation, so much stuff changes. So the same as Nick Fury, like that. So you change that and you change the outcome of the universe. So but yeah, some people have commented on the fact that they're like, yo, they just straight love killing this dude. Yeah.
I haven't seen No Time to Die. From what my roommate has told me, it's a pretty good movie.
It is. I definitely recommend it if you're a big fan.
Yeah. But from what you guys were talking about with the Flash, that I've been watching this season, and when I was watching the Flash, I'm like, okay, when the fuck did Barry Allen start using compassion? Because if you have you seen season 7 of the Flash?
Yeah. Are you compassion?
I don't know if you recall, but think about it, is the season 6 villain, they defeated him with compassion, and then all of a sudden
okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you were talking about
compassion when I'm like, where the hell was that with Zoom or Thawne or anyone else?
Right. I thought you were saying that he was going to take out a purple ring or something like that from the Blackest Night storylines and such. But no, I mean, yeah, the whole Taki no Jutsu style of the Flash writing started coming into play around season 4, if anything. Yeah, it's been around, but I don't know. But it seems like they're having more and more of that every season now. But it's unfortunate, but that's the way the Flash is.
This might be, I don't know if people would consider this a hot take, but because I haven't really been watching the final season of Supergirl, even though there's only like 5 episodes left. But something that I've always thought is it would have been more interesting if Lena Luthor was friends with Kara but enemies with Supergirl.
Oh, I see. Yeah, maybe that'd be kind of cool. You know, honestly, I don't know how far they got with that. They might have, they might have done
Someone
that
just
for a little bit.
mentioned I read the comment. Someone just mentioned the Armageddon crossover, which
Crossover,
is
yes.
just from one. I mean, to be honest, is like I'm glad they're doing some sort of crossover in season 8, but because from what I understand, I've heard the villain's going to be Despero and have like Thawne and
Possibly. We don't know. All we're seeing are set photos that are being sniped by Canada Graphs, and there's I've actually saw a much bigger kind of spoiler than that regarding Barry Allen. Well, what we can assume is Barry Allen in a different type of costume. So that's cool too. But we're gonna save. I'm sure. I hope for DC fandom they're going to be dropping that trailer for the Flash, but considering how soon that they just filmed some of it, I doubt it. So
yeah, for me, for DC fandom, because I don't have access to watch it, but for me, I am looking for the Batman movie is something I am extremely looking forward to. The Aquaman movie seems interesting. Flash movie, I don't really know how to feel about that.
Yeah, wait for a trailer. Yeah, wait for a trailer. I think that's the main
I'm the
thing.
kind of person where I kind of need to see a trailer to give an opinion, but what else is coming? For me, the Black Adam and the Batman movie are two things that I'm looking forward to the most. The one thing that I've sort of wondered is how is Robert Pattinson gonna portray the difference between Bruce Wayne and Batman?
Hopefully very, very well. I guess that's the best we can hope for. I believe like I don't know much about Robert, but I do know a lot about Matt Reeves. And you know, Matt Reeves made us care about the feelings of monkeys and apes. So like if he can make 3 fairly very good movies like that, then I trust in what he's going to be doing with the Batman. I mean, I saw a lot of the Batman in Caesar already, Andy Serkis playing him. So I definitely think that we're going to be getting a great story. And I'm pretty sure that Robert will be able to bring something out of that as well.
Hell,
From
I'm
what
just
people have
curious
told
of
me,
how
it's
Andy
good.
Serkis is gonna be as Alfred. To be honest, that is
Yeah.
something
So I think we're gonna get some good stuff as well. And hopefully it'll be fun. You can check out DC Fandom actually for free on. They're gonna be broadcasting it on YouTube. It's going to be broadcasted on Twitch. There's actually one more that they're going to be broadcasting it on, I think directly from their website. So there's actually going to be 3 or 4 different outlets for you to check out when it premieres at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But then I'm pretty sure that they're going to loop it for about 2 days or so. So yeah.
Hey, here's a quick question. How do you personally feel about everything being canon? Because when I heard that DC was making legitimate everything canon, I'm like, so wait, does that include like Injustice? Like where does it stop? Like,
I mean, it's all
everything's canon.
You can look at it 2 different ways. It's either going to be it's canon, and then what we once known as of canon is now considered to be the mainstream universe, the mainstream world. But in the end of the day, yeah, everything, whatever is interesting for you, whatever is the most important universe for you, is essentially canon. That's your Batman, that's your Superman, whatever. If you like President Superman, then that's your world. That's the beauty of the multiverse. And I'm just glad that we're at a point with media that the multiverse doesn't just only exist within the comics. Like, we've gotten to a point where the concept of the multiverse can be explored on the big screen, and people are more open to it now. And just there's been enough media that has come out throughout the years that it's like, okay, cool. Like, we're not going to have old 80-year-old X-Men just because we need to keep it in canon. And we've already gone to 2 or 3 generations of comic book fans, so it's good to have something new for the younger generation, where the older generation gets something a little different. The same reason why you can make a comic book about Batman 1966, which is a very successful storyline right now, that is continuing the story of the Adam West storylines, which on it obviously we couldn't do in real life today with Adam West, rest in peace. So I'm fine with them having different concepts, and I'm glad that they're able to explore different things, and people can have a little bit of everything each time. So I think we're good with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, all right, Daniel, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for calling
nice
in.
talking to you, man.
Nice talking to you
Hope
as
to
well,
do it
man.
again sometime.
Keep representing the Shadow of the Bats in the back. I actually used some of that for my Halloween costume. I think I used the bottom left symbol of all the different Batman insignias. And behind you, I think I used the bottom. Yeah, there you go. The bottom left, near the animated logo is the one I used for my Halloween costume. Hopefully I'll be able to show off tomorrow, next week. So keep an eye out for that. Okay.
I will, man.
All right, man. Take care,
Peace
Daniel.
out. Have a good
Later,
night.
man. Bye. And that is it, my friends. As you can see, as you can see, I am it's creeping up on me. So we are going. I think it was a good time to wraps us up, and then we had some good conversations. It's always funny because I always come in here with the idea ready to fight a motherfucker, especially based on living in the world of Twitter and seeing the cesspool of angry people. Sometimes I really thought I was going to have to be up here defending DC's decision on Jonathan Kent, but it's pretty much sensible people. The people that call in are usually the most sensible people, and those with the biggest voice in the comments are usually the most scared to actually call in and really, it's like, look, if you're gonna say something, come up while on this podium right here and now, right? But it's usually just keyboard warriors and things like that. Now, and I understand that a lot of them are coming from a place of ignorance. That's what it really comes down to, is like, they don't read the comics. They don't understand what it's all about. Yeah, they might see it as a publicity stunt, but at the end of the day, yeah, what isn't a publicity stunt? They're in the business of making money. So yeah, they're going to take every avenue they can to do it. My only thing is the fact that my only thing is like, look, if you're going to make this decision, then just roll with it. Like, keep going with it. The story doesn't need to be all about that. But if you're going to do it, commit to it, just straight commit to it. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking they should have just made him gay. I'm talking about Jonathan Kent. Like, but see, I honestly don't have enough understanding or experience to understand what the feeling would be like, the difference between being bisexual and gay. Does a bisexual person eventually become full-blown gay later? You know, Jonathan Kent hasn't really had any sort of relationship with a woman ever, so what's to stop him from just being gay like that? But at the same time, if you're half alien, pansexual would be probably the biggest. Like, you could fall in love with anybody, right? What's stopping him? Honestly, what's stopping Jonathan Kent from falling in love with a real, like, non-humanoid alien type of thing, right? Like just a blob or something like that, or a symbiote. Falling in love with that, like an asexual being or something like that. That'd be wild, right? That would be wild. Yeah. All right. I can feel it. So I'm gonna take a break, guys. Take a break for a little while. Maybe take a shower. We got a few things to prepare for DC fandom, but also Halloween costumes as well. I am thinking, let me see how I feel after I take a break, because I spent all day yesterday just recovering, but I need to take my lunchtime medicine, which is the strongest one. Yesterday that shit knocked me out crazy. Something happened with Superman. Hey, Turtle Cows, thank you so much for resubscribing. Sorry the alerts aren't popping up, but thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you for all the donations that came earlier today. Here's the plan. Here's what I'll do. I probably will save this installation for tomorrow. Wait, you know what? I might try this today. I actually might try this today. Because if they're... Yeah, you know what? I don't know if I'll do it on stream, but I want to do this because if I need to order something, it needs to arrive by tomorrow, which is Friday, because Saturday is going to be DC fandom and I need to have everything ready and set up. So that's a whole nother thing. Ninja Monkey, what's up, man? But I probably will walk to the dollar store and go get some sewing. Yeah, some sewing material. So I might come back a little later for Twitch and do a stream where we're just sewing the L. Oh wait, no, I can't right now because the L wire didn't arrive. I really want something brighter than L wire, but I couldn't find anything that's not like $100-something. So I thought about actually taking some of this LED lighting, but this shit is heavy. This is really heavy. I do have cheaper LED wire, but it's gonna look weird when it's not on, so that's why I'm against it right now. So but you'll see what I'm doing in time. So if the L wire arrives a little later today, I will let you guys I'll restream. I'll stream again and we'll just have a sit down costume chat. Otherwise, I was playing Kima a little last night. I thought about streaming together, but yo, that game is fucking hard, dude. That game is hard, man. For reals. Like, it really is the Pixar's version of Dark Souls. For real, son. I think I'm gonna order... Ooh, I'm gonna order something else right now. Hold on. I just found a really dope fuck. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna order microphone. You know, I can do this offline. Because I'm thinking about taking my I thought this microphone would be really cool for DC fandom. Probably will mix the best, actually, which is kind of dumb because that kind of means that I really didn't need. But it's okay. It's okay. Maybe. We'll see. The way DC Sun talks, yeah, we'll probably need 2 microphones anyways. But the fact that you can mix the microphone levels, but this one can do everybody. But maybe the girl and I will share this mic. And then DC Sun will have his own dedicated mic. That'll like be a boom mic or something like that. I don't know. I have a lot of things to think about. But anyways, I'm going to order a case so I don't break it. But it's like the I'm looking at it right now, and it's like the case that I want. It's like $3, about $3 more for the red one, and I'm cheap like this. It's either going to be this one or this one or this one. So I'm debating right now. But then again, Canada Crafts just gave me a little bit of money, so yeah, we'll see what's up. Am I streaming live on YouTube or Twitch? Definitely Twitch only, and then I'll upload the VODs to YouTube like that. Yeah, get ready, guys. This Saturday, DC fandom. So YouTube, I will see you guys then. Twitch, I will see you guys soon. Sooner or later. We'll I'll try to find something to do, but let me just take care of my health first, and then if the material shows up, we'll do something more after that. Okay? All right, guys. Love, peace, chicken grease. Take care, guys, and I'll see you guys really soon. Get ready for DC fandom. Let's go!